Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we're looking at X-Force issue 9. Let me just adjust slightly if my camera allows me to. So this is X-MANHUNT Chapter 6, The Sharply Value. Writer Geoffrey Thorne, artist Marcus 2, color artist Eric Chinica. Apologies, I think I said that wrong. Letters by VC's Joe Caramagna. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong as well. And I do apologize. I like getting names correct. So, this is the cast of X-Force. I have read a few issues, but I'm not as close to this issue as I can roll it off my tongue. So, Surge has obviously been taken off the board. You've got this little thing around the writer Gail Simone, I think, is a bit strange, and there's people trying to rope them into other stories. It would have been cool if these were in all these books about the various different writers. I think that would have been pretty decent. Anyway, Professor Xavier reaches out to Tessa and basically saying, shocked that I'm alive, and she's like, no, you've pulled this stunt multiple times. I'm not, there was always a possibility. Anyway, he needs her help to escape. He gives her details of what's going on, and she produces a strategy of who can help, and that person is John Rafe, aka Kestrel. So she has certain teleportation candidates in mind for this extraction. Let's see if I can get my light so we can cover both pages. So X-Force are currently fighting this huge beast. This lady called Dibalo or something. I'm not going to pretend to know who she is. I can't record her in any of my previous stories, but she's got some will with magic. We've also got Colossus there, which I'm not sure what the story behind that is. I guess I'll find out at some point. But making Colossus evil again? Didn't we just do that in X-Force already when he was being manipulated by the writer? Can't they just leave him alone for a bit? He's already went through the ring already. So anyway, Tessa is speaking to her colleague whilst grabbing up certain stocks and heading out to a certain location, which is a thinker safe house. And basically in the previous issue, Vinker said you can have anything you want. So this is what she wants, and she uses a sort of virus to be able to overwrite what is there. So we've got Xavier, Rafe, and an egg. So they are going into this new safe house, which has psi protection as well. Meanwhile, X-Force, they're pretty much getting their asses handed to them. But however, they seem to be striking back, I guess, through Forge using magic as well. Not much going on there. So after Rafe does this whole rescue, he then has this sort of debate with Sage whether it was the right thing to do, which I'm sure you do this before you go do the job, right? And she comes up with, he saved my life. There is a loyalty from Tessa to Xavier always, and we probably haven't seen that. We certainly didn't see that in Extreme X-Men, because she was working with Storm and Co. And then after that, she sort of disappeared for a very long time. And then she obviously returned in the Krakoa era, which I was quite happy for, because I actually like Sage as a character. So it's nice to see that loyalty is always there. So he's created an egg, and the question is, you always told us that resurrection was for mutants. So she's sort of got a hint of what's going on here, because she calculates it. She's probably worked out who's in here. And I've already given my ideas who's in here. Bear in mind, I've read the issue, so I know who's in here already. And probably most of you do already, because spoilers happen, right? I try to avoid them. But I was glad that I'd already predicted it before. So he talks about how much he sacrificed. He sacrificed everything. And this bit actually got me more than I actually thought it would. Where he talks about, I sacrificed everything for humankind. This one's for me. And it was like, this is my place. So Tessa obviously explains that she's let her telepathy go, as well as her addictions, because she was addicted to alcohol at one point. So she is Tessa 10.6. Not Teresa. She likes Tessa. Like when she used to work at the Hellfire Gala, I think that was the name, and Sage when she's working. So, with everybody after them, they don't need the Phoenix 5 because he's already got the egg to the right point. So all it is resulting is releasing Lilandra. So Lilandra is free, and even though he's not put everything back into her, she recognizes him. I find it so. I mean, all right. So if we think about how Moira's powers work, so she would have reflashed everything. So when Xavier must have been backing up Lilandra in secret with just in case, and then obviously she died in the rise and fall of the Shi'ar Empire. So he's had this backup for a very long time, and he probably wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the fact that his daughter needs saving. So that's pretty much it. So it's very, very simple. They make up, but there's no time to do that. Rafe gives him a bag with monitors, cars, and protein bags and weapons, so that they've got some way to get going. And pretty much they choose a ship. They choose a ship that sort of relates to sort of similar to Shi'ar technology and can obviously make it into space, and pretty much off they go. It's a race. It's a very, very in-between issue in this event. And sometimes that happens before the big finale. They slow it down, or it just builds and builds up. So they've gone for the slow down and just rein it in. Now we're going off to do that final rescue. So that final episode, final issue is going to be a big issue. Now there is an issue in between called Exceptional X-Men, which I think is just going to be about Exceptional X-Men, and they've just labeled it X-MANHUNT Collateral Damage. So it's going to be interesting to find that, because unless it's just got a little tad of this story in it, just in the background, it could have. So back to X-Force and the team. Yep, they are fighting. They're fighting quite ferociously. However, they're taken out. And this team here is saying they are solutions. So if you're an X-Force fan, you've got the X equation in the next issue. And obviously, Professor Xavier's story finishes in X-Manhunt Omega. So you can see there, you got Exceptional X-Men and finale. And apologies that this was a little bit late. I brought from Forbidden Planet these, and actually they've been really, really quick. They were bashing them out every Wednesday, and I was getting them by Friday, but last week it just didn't happen. So it only arrived literally yesterday. So I'll try and get Exceptional X-Men, and I'm hoping the big finale comes in this weekend so I can get it out over the weekend. I'm really hoping, so that there's not delay. Of course, I do have my local comic store. I may just decide, if I can pick it up, I'll pick it up. Nice and simple. Anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please do support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody that subscribed already. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.